Hey everyone, welcome back. We've got some really interesting research today. Um, it's all about something that can, well, really make or break a small business, and that is market risks.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to be diving deep into how those risks affect, specifically small and medium-sized enterprises,
Mm.
SMEs,
Mm.
like yours, probably.
Yeah.
Our mission, to give you some tools, actionable insights,
Okay.
to help you navigate these choppy waters, right?
Right.
We've got a 2017 Slovakian study.
Mm.
It's packed with some pretty eye-opening stats, and then we'll explore this 9-step methodology to actually manage the risks.
Yeah, the thing about market risk is, everyone throws that term around. It can
Yeah.
mean like slightly different things
Oh, for sure.
to different people.
Yeah, yeah. So for our listener out there, running their own business, what's like the most straightforward way to think about market risk?
The simplest way is to think about it as the possibility of things changing in your market that could cause that to lose value, or even gain value for your business.
Right.
And this could be anything, right? From your competitors getting much more aggressive,
Yeah.
to customers suddenly wanting something totally different to the price of raw materials just going crazy.
So it's not just about some abstract economic forces out there.
Right.
It's about how all that stuff affects your business.
Exactly. And to really get a handle on it, we need to break down market risk into specific types.
Okay.
Like, think about interest rates.
Yeah.
If you've got a lot of debt, if interest rates go up, it can really hurt
Yeah.
your bottom line. So that's interest rate risk.
Got it.
Or imagine you're, you manufacture furniture,
Okay.
and all of a sudden, the price of lumber spikes.
Oof.
That could throw off your budget completely. That's commodity risk.
So awareness is key. You need to know which types of market risks are most relevant to you and your business. Which brings us to this Slovakian study.
Yeah.
It really drives home why understanding those risks is so important.
Absolutely, yeah. Researchers in the Ilina region of Slovakia surveyed and interviewed, I think it was 164 SMEs,
Okay.
to get a sense of how these businesses, how they viewed market risk, basically.
And what did they find?
What they found was pretty striking.
A whopping 80.49%, almost 81% of business owners, they said market risk was the biggest threat
Wow.
to their business
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
Does that ring true for you?
It does.
It really shows you how central market risk is to, whether an SME sinks or swims.
Absolutely. This study goes beyond just asking about, perceptions.
Right.
It digs into how market risk impacts the actual value
Okay.
of an enterprise.
So they're not just talking about losing money day to day.
Right.
They're talking about the long-term health of the business.
Exactly. They analyzed how, competition and market prices, investment decisions, how those feed back into this whole idea of market risk.
Okay.
And they didn't, just lump all SMEs together.
Yeah.
They broke them down.
By size.
By size, yeah. Micro, small, medium.
Oh, picture.
To see if there were any differences in how market risk was affecting them.
So they recognize that, mom and pop shop might experience market risks differently than a company with 50 employees.
Right. Exactly. And what they found is that the number of employees a business has, it actually impacts how much risk they perceive.
Wait, so the size of your business
Yeah.
influences how much you worry.
It seems that way, yeah. And here's the kicker. Medium-sized enterprises felt the impact most strongly, followed by micro enterprises, and small enterprises were the least concerned.
Huh. That's fascinating. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
Maybe it has something to do with the unique challenges
Yeah.
that come with, scaling up a business.
Yeah.
Perhaps they're feeling that pressure of competing with bigger players
Yeah.
while still trying to maintain that agility
Right.
of a smaller company.
It's like they're in that awkward in-between stage
Yeah.
where they haven't quite hit, the stability of a large corporation,
Right.
but they've lost some of the flexibility of a tiny startup.
For sure.
Yeah.
We should definitely unpack that more.
Yeah.
But for now, let's get practical. This study outlines a 9-step methodology
Okay.
for managing market risks. It looks really, really useful.
Yeah, it's based on the ISO 31000 standard,
Mhm.
which is used globally, but they adapted it to be like more user-friendly
Okay.
for SMEs, particularly in Slovakia.
Got it.
Think of it as like a roadmap to get ahead of those market risks
Okay.
instead of always reacting to them.
Roadmap. I like that.
Yeah.
I bet our listener is eager to hear the steps. So let's dive in.
Okay, great. So step 1, it's all about like building a solid foundation.
Okay.
You need a clear strategy for managing risk, documented policies, and you need to make sure that, people know who's responsible for what.
Right.
It all starts with leadership buy-in.
Yeah.
If the people at the top aren't prioritizing this, it's not going to work.
So it's about making risk management part of the company culture.
Yeah, from the top down.
Yeah.
Exactly. Step 2 is about taking a good hard look
Okay.
at your environment, both inside and outside your business, and setting your risk criteria. Like, what's your risk appetite?
Right.
What can your business realistically handle if things go south?
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
How can SMEs realistically figure out their risk appetite?
It's about being honest about your resources, your financial situation, and how much uncertainty you're comfortable with.
Right.
Some businesses are just naturally more risk averse,
Yeah.
while others are, they're willing to take bigger gambles. There's no right or wrong answer, but you need to know where you stand.
So it's about self-awareness, aligning your risk tolerance with your business strategy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Step 3 is where you roll up your sleeves and start identifying those specific risks that are lurking out there. And remember, we're talking about threats A&D opportunities here.
Oh, okay.
Think beyond just, the problems.
Yeah.
Are there untapped opportunities you're missing
Yeah.
because you're so focused on avoiding risks?
That's a great point. Sometimes playing it too safe can make you miss out
Yeah,
on big opportunities.
Exactly. Now, step 4 is about prioritization.
Okay.
Not all risks are created equal.
Right.
Some are more likely to happen than others.
Right.
And some could have a much bigger impact
Yeah.
if they do happen. So you need to analyze each one and, rank them.
So it's kind of like a triage situation.
Exactly.
You figure out which risks need your attention first.
Exactly. Step 5 is you get organized.
Okay.
Create what's called a risk catalog.
A risk catalog.
It's a fancy way of saying, you write down all the risks you've identified and how you plan to address them.
Got it.
This document, it helps keep everyone on the same page.
Right.
Ensures accountability.
So it's like a playbook.
Yeah, for dealing with actual problems.
I like it.
Right. Now, step 6 is where you move from like analysis to action.
Okay.
You've identified your risks, you've prioritized them. Now you need to develop and implement a plan
Okay.
to prevent them from happening, or at least, minimize the impact.
So this is where you start building your defenses.
Absolutely. Prevention is always, always better than the cure.
Right.
It's much easier and cheaper to take steps to avoid risks than to scramble to fix things after a crisis.
I imagine that's especially true for SMEs.
Right.
They don't always have as many resources to
Right.
deal with those major disruptions.
Exactly. Now, step 7 is all about continuous improvement.
Oh.
It's not enough to just create a plan and forget about it.
Right.
The market is constantly changing. Yeah.
So you need to regularly review and update your plan
Okay.
to make sure it's still relevant.
So staying agile, adapting.
Precisely. Step 8 is about staying vigilant,
Okay.
keeping your eyes peeled for signs of trouble.
Got it.
This might involve setting up monitoring systems, tracking key metrics,
Okay.
conducting regular risk assessments.
Yeah.
It's like having a radar system
Yeah.
for your business, scanning the horizon.
Early detection is key.
Absolutely.
Can make all the difference.
And finally, step 9.
Okay.
This one might sound a bit touchy-feely,
Okay.
but it's actually incredibly important. It's about fostering a positive attitude
Okay.
towards risk within your organization.
Wait, so you're saying we should be excited about risks?
Not excited, but we need to understand that risk is it's part of doing business.
Right.
It's impossible to eliminate it completely.
Sure.
And sometimes, taking risks can lead to the biggest rewards.
It's about shifting from a mindset of like fear and avoidance to one of proactive management.
Yeah.
And calculated risk-taking.
So seeing risk as a potential catalyst for
Exactly.
growth innovation.
Exactly. It's about encouraging your team to view risk not as something to be feared, but as a challenge to be overcome,
Okay.
a learning opportunity,
Yeah.
and even a potential springboard for creativity and success.
That's a really interesting way to frame it. So we've got this great 9-step methodology, But before we apply it, let's connect some dots. Earlier, we talked about different types of market risk.
Yeah.
We've got insights from James Lamb, who focuses on the financial side, and then John J. Hampton, who emphasizes those customer-facing aspects.
Yeah.
How do their ideas fit into this bigger picture?
They fit perfectly. They're like two sides of the same coin.
Okay.
Lamb's work is great for understanding those broader economic forces that can impact you, like interest rate fluctuations, currency exchange risks, commodity prices, the stock market.
Yeah.
He reminds us that these risks, they're all interconnected.
Yeah.
Like a change in interest rates could affect consumer spending.
Right.
Which could then impact demand for your product. It's all a delicate balance.
Right. It's about understanding that domino effect.
Yeah.
And Hampton's work helps us understand those risks that are closer to home,
Right.
the ones related to our customers.
Yeah.
He breaks it down into 4 categories: needs risk, distribution risk, volume risk, and pricing risk.
Yeah. And if we connect those categories back to like the Slovakian study,
Yeah.
they really resonate. Like, for example, needs risk.
Yeah.
That's all about staying on top of what your customer wants.
Yeah.
If you're not paying attention to their evolving needs and preferences, you're setting yourself up for failure.
It's like that old saying, if you're standing still, you're falling behind.
Exactly. Exactly. And distribution risk.
Yeah.
That's becoming increasingly important
For sure.
in today's digital world, right? You need to make sure you're reaching your customers through the right channels.
Absolutely.
Whether that's online, through retail partners, or a combination of both.
If your distribution channels aren't aligned with how your customer shops, you're missing out.
Yeah. And then there's volume risk. This is all about forecasting demand accurately
Okay.
and managing your inventory accordingly. It's a delicate balancing act.
It is.
You don't want too much inventory just sitting around,
Right.
but you also don't want to run out of stock
Yeah.
and disappoint your customers.
It's about finding that sweet spot
Right.
between supply and demand.
Right. And finally, pricing risk.
Oof. Yeah.
This one can be tricky
Yeah.
because there are so many factors to consider.
For sure.
Your costs, your competitors' prices,
Right.
and what customers are willing to pay.
Pricing is such a crucial lever for any business. Get it wrong, and it can really hurt.
It can make or break you.
Yeah.
Really. So when we combine, these insights from Lamb and Hampton, with the 9-step methodology from that Slovakian study, we've got a really powerful framework.
It's like we've got all the pieces of the puzzle now.
Yeah.
We've got that big picture economic context, the customer-focused insights, and then a practical roadmap for taking action.
Exactly. But we can't forget that every business is unique.
Right.
What works for one SME might not work for another.
So our listener needs to take this framework and customize it
Exactly.
to their own situation.
They need to start asking themselves some tough questions.
Like what?
Like, what are the specific market risks that keep ME up at night?
Yeah.
What are the unique challenges Amway business faces? And, most importantly, what concrete steps can I take to address them?
Those are some great starting points. It's about getting granular, getting real,
Yeah,
and taking ownership of your risk management journey.
absolutely. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. There are resources available, like consultants, industry associations, even government agencies that can, provide some guidance.
That's a great reminder. There's no shame in asking for help,
No.
especially when it comes to something as complex as market risk management.
Right?
But ultimately, the responsibility lies with the business owner
Yeah.
to take action, protect their investment. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. At the end of the day, it's your business.
Yeah.
It's your livelihood, your dream.
Right.
And, you owe it to yourself to do everything you can to
Yeah.
protect it from, all those external forces that could threaten its success.
That's a great way to put it. It's
Yeah.
about taking ownership, being proactive. Don't wait for a crisis to hit
Right.
before you start thinking about this stuff.
Right.
By then, it might be too late.
It's like they say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Right.
Yeah.
But I think what's really resonating with me and hopefully with our listener too is this idea of like shifting our mindset around risk.
It's not just about, battening down the hatches.
Right.
Trying to avoid every possible threat.
It's not about living in fear. It's about understanding that risk it's just part of it.
Right.
It's part of the journey.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes taking those risks can lead to the biggest breakthroughs, the biggest rewards.
It's like that classic saying, the biggest risk is not taking any risks at all, But of course, we're not advocating for, reckless behavior here.
Of course not. It's about calculated risk taking.
Right.
It's about weighing those potential rewards against the downsides.
Yeah.
And making smart decisions based on, the best information you have.
So finding that sweet spot
Exactly.
between being cautious and being bold.
Exactly. And remembering, you don't have to figure this all out on your own.
Right.
There are people and resources to help.
That's so important. Sometimes just having someone to talk to bounce ideas off of, can make a world of difference.
For sure.
Whether it's a mentor, a business advisor, another entrepreneur who's been there, done that.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to reach out. Build that network.
Yeah, and don't underestimate the power of just, continuous learning.
Oh, yeah.
The business world is constantly changing.
Always.
So you need to stay curious, stay informed, be willing to adapt.
Yeah.
There's so many, books and articles and podcasts, online courses that can help you stay ahead of the curve.
It's like a muscle you need to keep exercising.
Yeah.
The more you learn about these risks, how to manage them, the stronger your business will become.
Well said.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, I hope our listener is feeling empowered, to tackle those market risks
Yeah.
head on.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power,
It is.
but only when it's put into action.
Absolutely.
So here's our final thought for you today.
Okay.
We've explored the what, the why, and the how of market risks, for SMEs.
Mm-hmm.
But the real work starts now. Take what you've learned, apply it to your business, and start building that more resilient, successful business that you've always dreamed of.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those questions coming.
And until next time, happy navigating those market risks.